Hello, hello. Here we are again, as always, every day doing our daily bindrune. So today, we will, as always, do some bindrunes. Let me just check here that everything is working how expected. But yeah, if everything is working as expected, we'll just do the bindrunes. Remembering that today is Wednesday, which means that today we have the bindrune request box open. If you want if you want a bindrune, you can get one from me. Just going over the Instagram account in Instagram, the Rune Lord Sage, like here, and you can get basically there after I post the today's bindrune. The request box will be open on my story, and you can do your request without problem, without charging, without nothing. As I always said, this is kind of something good for me because this kind of serves for me to have some kind of study for that too. So that's kind of very interesting. So yeah. So let me just confirm that everything is working how I'm expecting. And if yes, we'll just start for today. Okay. Let me just confirm here that everything is working. Okay, seems that it's working. I don't know. I have no idea right now. Is it working? I don't know. I really don't know. Oh yeah, it seems that it's working. I hope so. Let me just see here because it's a little bit strange. I don't know why. Okay, now it's okay. Yeah, seems that it's okay. Perfect. So let's continue here. And so today's bindrune, as I said, after I post the bindrune, we'll have the request box open. And today the person asked to be motivated at work. So this is the bindrune that we're doing today. Let's see what the runes have to say to this person. Again, if you want a bindrune, just go over to my Instagram account. The bindrune the request box will be open after I finish this one. So you just go there, ask for your bindrune, and yeah, that's it. No charges, nothing at all. Okay, so to be motivated at work. So the person got Kenas, and the second rune for this advice from runes for this person is Soilu. Oh, very interesting. Okay, let's thinking about it and see how we can do this bind rune today. Yeah, I really like these two rooms, especially for what the person is asking. So let's leave it here just so we can have it as some way. So let's thinking how we can interlace them. So as I always say, I like to have the first room as a kind of having more visual on that. So of course the most simple thing that we could do is that, for example, do something like this, which is kind of interesting, but I think that I want to do something more complicated today. So let's try to thinking a little bit here. So if I try to do something like that, oh no, we don't want to seem something that we are not. So let's try to thinking about some other way to go over that. So if I do something like this, okay, we have something here that could generate some interesting perspective. Because if we do that, for example, I could do not from the top, but we could do the canvas here. And I could even, for example, do some canvas going over here, maybe not using the mirror, but for example I could do something like going over here. I don't like the idea of going over. Let's try something else. Let's try to do something else. What we can try to do here. If I do something like that, I will not be able to interlace them. So let's go a little bit less here and try to think a little bit what we can try to do. So this starts to generate something that could be a little bit interesting. If I make this kind of, yeah, we can try to do something like that. Don't know if it will be very good, but we can try. And let me just make it more clear what would be the idea here in this case. So we have this guy here, so it forms a triangle, and here I have, for example, this guy that basically all of them together makes a kind of silo. But then we, as we said, we want to make more vision for the canvas. If I bring just the canvas, if I just bring the canvas here, I could have that, but again, I think that it's starting to not be so clear what we want to do. So no, not a good idea. So let's try to do something different. Let's try, for example, if I go here and go, this is something that it's quite common that I use to, basically that I mirror on all the sides. Hello, Mamuzinha, how are you? And what I can do here is that in this case I could try to do a canvas here. Good. But again, we have the kind of same thing that we are talking, is that we are just putting one canvas. Of course that we could go, for example, for the canvas, and what we could do is that, for example, we could go for something like that, and of course that we don't mix them together here. Actually it seems like a kind of insect. I like the idea. We have 4 soilos, 4 canvases. Let me just do one thing here. This is other thing that I do sometimes. Whoa, now we are talking, because we have all the runes here. In this case, we are not even able to recognize all of them. I totally understand that, but I really like the format that it stays. So yeah, we are going for that. I really like it. Whoa. So what we'll do is that I'll merge together these two, and I'll put this guy as a small opacity, and we'll start to draw based on this idea, because we know basically what we are trying to achieve here. So we'll just go over that idea, not exactly going like we were doing before. We are just, in this case, we'll just draw the thing directly, but we know what format this idea here, and I'll try to do some overlapping and this kind of thing later on. Yeah, I really like it too. So it's a kind of different pattern, and this is something that normally some people ask me is about, okay, Kusa, but then you are not even seeing the runes. And yeah, that's not exactly a problem. Depends a lot about what you want to do with your bindrune. There is not, and this is something that I always talk about with some friends and this kind of things, that what we are doing here we have no proof that they were doing something like that. So if you're trying to kind of put some rules on that, that's something that I really don't like to, to basically try to say what you can do or what you cannot do. I really don't like that idea. I know that some people does that quite a lot in reality, but I really don't like it, and I prefer to, allow people to do whatever they want with their bind runes if they are at least, secure about what they are doing and confident about what they are doing. I will not be the person that it's trying to tell them what they can or cannot do. Because, yeah. So, if you look, for example, here, that's kind of interesting thing is that if you look right now, we have here the Soilo. Oops. Let me just, yeah, we have here the Soilo, and basically what happens is that you have the Soilo repeated in several places. So for example, here you have that too. You have Soilo at some perspective mirrored here, for example. So you have basically several Soilos on that. I really like the idea. So let's continue here. And okay, so the Soilos basically are here already. Now we want to do is the Canas. So let's go for that. And what we'll do is that first of all, I'll be putting here one leg of the Canas, and I'll do one thing is that I'll go over just to make sure that it's centered how I want. Unfortunately, this tool that I'm using here, the app that I'm using to draw, does not help in this kind of cases. It's a shame, but it's a good tool basically to do something that it's not so complicated. Yeah, now we have how I want. So, oh shit, I moved that instead of draw. Yeah, now it's okay. So I'll do that here, and I'll cut the points later on. Okay, and what we'll do is that, oops, we did something wrong here. I want that in a new layer, so basically we have the possibility to kind of cut, to interlace them without problems. And now what we'll do is that we'll draw here, and I'll do something is that I'll pass to, and then later on we'll cut that. Again, it can kind of create several canas based on this impression, but basically we are trying to use the idea of the canas that is being done by this large arm here and this one here that it's going inside. So let's clean here for this guy because that's what we don't want. And okay, let's delete it here. And this is interesting, the process of doing the bindrune and creating this kind of image is something that I really like it. That's why I kind of put to do that on my page without charging people and this kind of thing. There are of course some things that I use a method that I'm kind of studying and testing it quite a lot, that I don't choose the bind runes. I basically just take some bind runes to see, and see what the runes basically can say to the person. So I'm not choosing the runes here in this case, although I could, but I really like to do that. It's been a kind of very interesting process to be doing. So yeah, here we are. So again, we have several canases here. What we'll try to do right now is that we need to, oh, there is more one point where I want to delete a little bit, is here. It's here. I don't want to tie them together. So now I can delete here inside. Okay, good. Perfect. So now we have several canas that kind of aligns to one of the soilos that we have. What we'll do right now is that I want to kind of make the canas interlace a little bit with the soilo. So what we'll do is that first of all, we'll get this point here and we'll make the kind of seams that it's passing under the leg of the canas. So we are here, so I'll take this guy here and here, and now we'll go for this guy here and here. So it has the impression that it's passing over the other guy. Now we'll do the opposite, is that we'll take this guy here and pass it under. And this way, basically, you have this impression that things are kind of interlacing. As we are kind of speaking about soilo, one more thing that I'll do here is that I will do a small thing, is that we'll split a little bit the soilos that we have here. So for example, I'll go here and oops, has to be a little bit more to the other side. So yeah, we'll cross here, I'll cross here, and I'll cross here. So now we not only have this impression, but we basically have this feeling that they are really soilos. Again, quite interesting and quite good in feeling about that. Let's see if there is something else that we can do here to make it even kind of interesting more. I could try to do something with the point of the canas here, but I don't know if it will work and if it will stay good. There is more one thing that I realized right now, is that our one leg of our canas is came into here, and the other is stopping quite before. You see, basically, we are saying that this leg is stopping here, while this is staying a little bit more. So maybe instead of cutting the way that I cut it before, maybe we should go a little bit over that and making, you know, kind of both legs of the canas stay kind of the same size. So what we'll do is that we'll try again and see if we can get that better. So as the tool kind of puts these things on the top here, we'll do by the below side. So what I'm doing here is that I'm trying to get some kind of point to thinking how to cut that. So I know that this is the cut that will go from one point. So let's do one thing here. So here's the cut that I want. Am I doing that right or not? No, I'm not. This is the point where I want to cut. So this means that I have to make it bigger. It has to basically go really, really over. Okay. More. Let's go really over that and then we cut it. Okay, perfect. So now we can come here. This is the point that will be the final thing. And here the same thing on the top. Okay, I hope that I'm doing that right. So now let's, I don't know why. Okay, let's do that here. Okay, now we again will just take this way and we'll do a cut here and a cut here, and now we'll remove basically what is left over here. And yeah, that's kind of giving me a little bit better impression of the canals, because basically kind of seems that they are symmetric, which is much better than what I was feeling before. We have the soilos that are not tied together. Let me just remove here the that we had on the back. So I really like this soilo with this canals. It seems that it's not only me that like it. Yeah, so now as always we'll just try to put something on the background of it, because so it's not so, how can I say, so empty. So let's move it to the really background of the thing. Let's take another type of, yep, now we have it. Today I'll do a little bit different. Let me just try to use this one. Okay, and again we'll just use some things here. Whoa, yeah, maybe we can do something interesting. Let's me try to do one thing here, because I think that it will not be good, no, as I said. But if I go over a little bit, that, okay, it's too small, so I have to go over here. And I think that that will be maybe something that will become interesting. Whoa, let me just reduce the opacity of it, and voila, we have here our bindrune. I really like it. I really like it. So yeah, here we are. We have our bindrune that has a soilo and canals. Different from the first image that I was doing. Basically, when I created the idea, you can see the runes now. You can see the soilo. You can see the canals, which is something that I really like. The idea. They are interlaced. That is something that I really like to do. And yeah. So as I said, if you want a bindrune, if you like this kind of thing, just go over to my Instagram, the Rune Lord Sage there. I'll be opening the request box basically after I finish here the live. And yeah, I hope you like it. And yeah, thank you a lot. I was take a look here, and it seems that there are some people doing some live too. So maybe I'll do a raid, which is kind of interesting. And yeah, again, we see each other tomorrow, as always. And yeah, tomorrow again. And as I said, if you like this kind of content, if you like this kind of thing, go over to my Instagram account, as we'll have the request by the run box open there after this live. Okay, so let's just do something here. Yeah, so see you people. Bye, thank you.
You for stopping by now and not 2 minutes earlier. Yeah, how was your stream? Tell me what you've done. We are in a middle of a finale of the Dream Daddy playthrough. We've been doing this for like 5 weeks now, actually. I think this is part. No, actually part 6.